Welcome to the Two Disabled Dudes podcast. We believe life is about how we react. I'm Kyle Bryant. And I'm Sean Bompsark. Together, we are constantly seeking opportunities to live beyond our circumstances.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Two Disabled Dudes podcast. We have another awesome guest on our show that has really taken Sean and I to the next level, and we've learned how to spread our message. But first of all, Sean, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. My headphones broke. I got a complicated morning. I thought my system was crashing.
Hey, but we're living beyond our circumstances here.
Yep,
so
here we are.
I mean, we're making it happen.
Yep.
All right, cool. Well, so, Sean, as you know, sometimes living beyond our circumstances means spreading the word and reaching out to others, building a following of people to get behind our cause or our idea. Oftentimes that means tapping into media and learning how to make media work for you. Heather Burgett has 20 years of experience in PR. She started her career in tech on the East Coast, and then she moved to LA to pursue an interest in doing PR in Hollywood. Heather started the Burgett Group PR agency when she was only 28. She has worked with authors, billionaires, celebrities, entrepreneurs, experts, philanthropists, rock stars, small business owners, and top brands and movies, such as the Ataxian. Her mission is to help other people get their special talents and gifts into the world in front of mainstream audience. Heather, we're so excited to welcome you to the show. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here today.
Awesome.
I'm listening to all those things that you listed, Kyle. You know, she's worked with the authors, billionaires, celebrities, entrepreneurs,
yeah,
and Kyle and Sean.
And us. Down at the end, huh?
What are you talking about? You guys are superstars.
Awesome.
Funny.
Well, Heather, you know, that's one thing I love about you. I have a feeling that, I mean, I've always felt like a superstar when I'm working with you, whenever I'm talking with you, and I'm sure that's just how it works. That's how you make everybody feel, and that's part of your magic.
Yeah, well, it's really more, I think my gifts are helping people identify their gifts, their unique special talents, and just I have an intuitive sort of knowing of how to bring those to a mainstream audience. So, I mean, every single person on this planet has unique special gifts that they are here to share with people on this planet. So it's just a matter of being able to identify what those are and then have the ways, the avenues, the methods to get them in front of those people that are out there looking for you, because you guys especially are such a great example of this. You know, you're changing lives with your messages and what you're doing with your platform. And by doing just, for example, this podcast, you know, you are having a platform where people can find you, and then you can help them with your messages. So, you know, you guys are such a great example of how this all works.
And we're having a good time while we're doing it too. So that doesn't hurt, you know?
It's important to have fun.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Well, you know, Heather, I really want to dig into. I want to have a fun conversation about the Ataxian and your work you did on the Ataxian, and I also want to talk about, you know, how you help people in organizations to get their message out. But first of all, I want to hear how you worked on a movie that we all know called The Blair Witch Project. I feel like that was one of the biggest PR stunts of all time. I remember like going to that movie and being like, I'm pretty sure this is real. And so was that part of the plan, and how did that work?
Yeah, these filmmakers were actually quite brilliant. I mean, they started it all. They did this sort of found footage documentary feeling project, and they put signs up all around Hollywood and wherever else, saying, missing persons. And they had, the stars of the film were the missing people.
Oh my gosh.
And so it was brilliant. It was kind of like, wait, what is this? What's going on? And there was a buzz about it. And so at the time, the company I was at, it was actually, I had just started in Hollywood. It was I'd just come to a PR firm that focused on independent film and feature films. And the owner decided, he thought the film was brilliant. He said, let's take it on. And we took it to Sundance, and no one had ever heard of it. And he actually was kind of sneaky. He tested it on me. He said, hey, this is a film I think we're going to take to Sundance. Can you take this home tonight and watch it? This is going back quite a few years. It was on VHS. And so I was at home alone at night, popped it in, having no idea really what to expect.
Yeah.
And I was sitting like in front of my TV, like holding my knees, like practically shaking. I was like, what is happening? This movie was so scary when you thought it was real. And then, at the end, the credits start rolling, and I'm like, wait a minute. And so, it was the whole kind of idea of the PR strategy was like, let's take what the filmmakers have already created and done and just ride it. And we're not going to tell people this is real, but we're not going to tell people that it's not real.
Right.
So that was really the brilliance of the PR marketing strategy and campaign that went behind it. But it really came from what the filmmakers had started doing, and then all the PR and marketing just rode off that. And so that's why, I work with a lot of filmmakers too, and that's why I tell them it's so important, no matter what you're creating, whether it's a film project or if you're creating a nonprofit or whatever it may be, like to be thinking about your PR and marketing from day one is so important. It's really not something for later, because it really sets the stage for the success of whatever it is you're creating, whether it's a product, a service, a film, a book, whatever it may be. So, yeah, that's just a little insight into kind of the wild ride. And we took the film all the way through from Sundance, where it got picked up by Artisan, to the release through Artisan. We were the supporting PR firm on that, to the outside agency, and to becoming a worldwide phenomenon and possibly one of the most, successful film campaigns in history in terms of financial success, because of how much it cost to make it versus how much it actually made.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
And my boss was pretty brilliant. The filmmaker did not have money at the time, so he took a point on the film, and I think he made out pretty well.
Yeah, holy cow. I still, I can picture, I haven't seen that movie for a long time, and I probably only saw it once, but I can still picture, the final scene and, them with, flashlights in their faces right in front of the camera and, walking around up the stairs and, oh, my gosh, it's giving me chills just thinking about it right now.
Yeah, and ever since then, there have been so many copycats and films trying to do something. So, you still see films and TV shows to this day where people copy that scene with the flashlight in the face that, that Heather had done, the lead actress. And, it was quite brilliant. It was the stars aligned and they hit magic. That's because if there were really a true formula to do what they did in Hollywood, everyone would be doing it. But that's why, the entertainment industry is such an interesting place, because there is no sure formula. It's just sometimes you strike a chord with people and it just takes off like wildfire.
Just for the fun of it, especially for maybe younger listeners that maybe have no idea what we're talking about, this film, the original, came out in 1999, and I remember the number 60 grand being the cost to produce it, or the budget to produce. And Wikipedia is telling me they grossed $248 million.
What?
in the box office.
And I think 60 is probably even generous. I think it's probably even less, far less than that. But
Crazy.
I think at the time we didn't want them to give the exact price. I think at the time we said the price of a car. Like we kind of kept it vague, but without giving the exact numbers. But yeah,
that was almost 20 years ago. Wow.
So moving from one of the biggest successes of all time to a fairly obscure effort that you turned into an awesome, like, notable film, especially in the rare disease space. You know, you worked with us on the launch of the Ataxian, and I wanted to get your impression, like, how do you start? So, first of all, this is a movie, a documentary about a disease that no one's ever heard of. It's got a cast of nobodies, and including me and Sean, and you know, filmmakers who this was their first film. Like, where do you even start with something like that?
Yeah, I mean, that's where you get creative with PR and mark. I mean, I did a lot of big Hollywood blockbusters and, everything down to, as you're talking about, kind of unknown first-time projects where you really have to kind of dig and find out, okay, how are we going to, like Blair Witch, like that struck an emotional chord with people. Like, what are we going to do to, generate some excitement and buzz about this project? And so that's exactly, what we did with the Ataxian was, I mean, first of all, you guys, you're not nobodies. You're out there. You're spokespeople. You're out there, on a regular basis, promoting and working for your causes and organizations that you're tied to. So Farah being, so strongly behind you guys and the movie, I think that was really integral. And for anyone that is involved with some sort of a project, maybe that's tied to a nonprofit, a film is actually an incredible PR stunt to raise awareness for an organization. And, because you can do so much around it in regards to press and marketing. And so, I mean, that's really, the bottom line just comes down to looking at what you have and, finding the gems and then promoting the heck out of them. And you guys were really the gems of the film. So, you guys got a lot of publicity when we did our campaign.
Yeah, that was really fun. I mean, I feel like you helped us start from the ground up. We're like, all right, I mean, I wasn't one of the producers, but like Sean and I were pretty involved the whole way through, and we're like, all right, sweet, we have this film. Now what do we do? And we're like, just starting from the ground up, and it was really neat to have you on board and kind of holding our hand through all the stuff we need to do as far as, just starting to write blog posts and like getting a Wikipedia page up and whatever. Just like, all right, let's start from somewhere and go for it, So.
Yeah, I mean, that's really, it's when people finish their film, they think, oh, thank God, we're done. And I usually say, well, that's kind of the start. You just basically gave birth to your baby. So now we have to raise it. So that's the point where, we come in and, we'll also get involved earlier on projects too. I mean, sometimes we're involved, as early as pre-production, during the shooting of the film to come do the unit publicity. And then in your case, we came on board for the world premiere at, Dances with Films at a festival here in Los Angeles. And, and then you can see it all the way through release too. And the great thing was you had an awesome world premiere, sold out screening, ended up winning the audience award at the festival, which was so exciting. Yeah. And then went on to go into so many other festivals and actually get distribution. So, I mean, really, that's the best that anyone could hope for, especially for an independent film. That's a documentary. Like, those can be really challenging projects to get out into the world. And I think you guys and the producers, the whole team, just really hit it out of the park with this project. And if people haven't seen it, they really need to see it because it is so inspiring. And that's why I wanted to work with you guys in the film, was because it just, it's such an uplifting film. It's a really special project.
Did the just out of curiosity, did the producers have to convince you to come on board, or did they give you a glimpse of it and you're like, oh, this is great, let's do it?
Yeah, I mean, basically how it works is, I always talk to people first to see if it's a match. And if it's a film project, I watch it because, of course, I want to make sure that I'm excited to be working with the project. And yeah, so I watched it and I was like, yeah, I'm in. I 100% wanted to work with you guys and help you get your messages out into the world once I saw the film.
Awesome. Love it. So, Heather, I want to ask you about, I think it's something fairly new that you're working on called PR Stars. And my understanding is that you're providing a reasonably affordable option for people who want to learn how to be their own PR department. And they want to have a little one-on-one time with you, the expert, and they want to have group training as well. Is that right? And can you tell us how it works?
Yeah, of course. So, I've been working in the PR world for, 20 years now. And I, about a year ago, decided it was time to make a shift in my business, kind of sadly inspired by the loss of my last grandparent. My grandmother, when she passed, was 95 and was such an inspiration to me. And losing her was very hard. And I just felt like it was time to do something different in my life. And I was inspired to reach more people and help more people at that time. So I thought, how can I do that? And, I at the time was very into Instagram, and I saw all these coaches online. I was like, you know what? I think I could teach PR. So that's where I sort of got this inspiration to take what I know after all this time and turn it into something that can help more people on a wider scale. So I developed my PR Stars programs. I came up with my 6-step PR formula that after all these years working on so many different types of projects with so many different types of people and across all industries, I noticed there was a pattern of the formula that it takes to have success. And so I've packaged it up, and I'm now teaching it to people online as a PR coach through my PR Stars programs. So yeah, I've basically taken it to the masses. In business, sometimes they say, you're opening the kimono, showing everybody what's behind the kimono. And I'm kind of doing that. Like I am, teaching people and showing people, what we do behind the scenes, how it works, how they can do it. And also I'm sharing my network and my contacts, which is, kind of unheard of in the PR world because that's why people hire us. So it's, kept very close to the vest usually, but especially in my new inner circle that I recently launched is my first membership group. I'm actually sharing my Rolodex and my people in my contacts list with people and bringing them into the group and as part of the community. So, people are getting a chance to have access to me to ask all their PR questions. They're getting trainings from me in a really easy, digestible way, and they're getting access to my networking community. So that's where my focus is right now, and that's how I'm trying to help as many people as possible. I still do my agency projects as well, which is all done for you services, and now I have the coaching side where basically people can either do my membership program or they can hire me privately to walk them through their own PR campaign. So yeah, those are the capacities in which I'm taking the PR world right now.
Nice. So who specifically is this for? Is this for just like a person with a book, or is this for the leader of an organization who wants to get the word out, or all of the above, or who's your target for this kind of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I would say largely it's small business owners. It's a lot of solopreneurs. I do have authors, experts, consultants, artists. I mean, it really ranges. It's a very broad range. And it does kind of go from the person that's a one-person shop to people that do have a team. And they're just looking for ways to affordably bring PR into their business plan as a component to implement into their business on a regular basis so that they can get their business to that next level, because not everybody has thousands of dollars a month to, hire a PR firm, which is, the PR firms do cost a lot of money, and PR agents and reps, can get very expensive. So I know this because I also run my agency. But so, yeah, that it's like really just a way to get people, startups, small businesses. I do kind of gear towards a spiritually inspired entrepreneur. That doesn't mean necessarily that they have a yoga studio, but that they're on some sort of a spiritual path. They're aware of certain spiritual principles, because, in terms of PR coaching, I would say that's what sets me apart probably from any other business coach out there, is that I am starting from a place of teaching persistent mindset and spiritual alignment, because it really takes starting from that place to have success anywhere in your life, whether it's PR, your business, personal relationships, whatever it may be. So it's, my program is definitely focused on PR, but people also get a little extra boost kind of in terms of maybe life or success coaching.
That you have a focus on the spiritual aspect of life, not to get and I think that's a really different word than religious, for sure. But what I love is this idea that really what it sounds like you're digging for is helping people understand or bring to the surface the why they're doing it, not so much just the opportunity to be known or to make money, but actually pursuing something that's more important than just those things, but actually getting behind a cause, whether it's for profit, not for profit, or whatever the case may be. I love that. To me, it kind of strikes that Simon Sinek understanding your principle of understanding your why before anything else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the why is the most important aspect of what we're doing. We do get into that early on. I have my PR boot camp as well. That is a course that is online. And at this point, I'm actually gifting that to people that come into my inner circle. And we get into that pretty early on, that this is about the why. And that's going back to what I said earlier about, this is your purpose. Why are you here at this time in the world? And what are you meant to do? Who are you meant to reach? Who are you meant to serve? So once you know your why and you can really tap into that, then everything else falls into place. And it's so much easier to get your create your message, get it out there, and then get it in front of the right people that you are meant to serve, because they are looking for you.
Yeah, I love that. So, Heather, you've told us a little bit about your principles. There's a lot of people that listen to this show that are involved in the rare disease space or some sort of cause, right? We've been talking a lot about causes and what to get behind and how to get your message out. So do you have like a list of your top 3 tips that you could share with our listeners today for PR?
Sure. Yeah, I could give you way more than 3. I'll try to narrow it down.
4 or 5 is fine too.
Sure. Well, I think, okay. So I would first say, don't wait. Most people, that is the biggest mistake I see with, from small business owners to philanthropists to, charitable causes. A lot of times people say, oh, I'll do PR when, or I'll think about my marketing and PR, for that thing later, like if they have an event or something. It's like, really it is about integrating it and implementing it into the overall business plan on a year-round basis, because you guys saw how much work it was to get the success we had. It's you don't just snap your fingers. There is a lot that goes into it. It's a build. It's about hitting a lot of different points in different areas. Even PR, the world of PR is changing constantly as we know it now, especially with the onset of social media, which is now becoming a really integral part of PR. So PR is almost becoming a digital PR space where we integrate the traditional public relations tactics and methods with mainstream media, but you're also bringing in social media, influencer marketing, all of these things that are happening in our world now as things evolve. So this is really, really important, as everybody knows. Like, it's all about marketing, how you position yourself, how you put yourself out there into the world. So that's what that is. And it's, unfortunately, PR is a bit of a mystery to a lot of people, and they don't know how to do it. They don't know how to get it. So that's what I'm really trying to do, is lift the veil and teach and show people that it's so much easier than you think, and you can actually do it yourself. So don't wait. And second, don't be scared or intimidated by it. Because of all those things that I'm saying, a lot of people put it off or feel like, well, it's, not something I can do. But you absolutely can. I mean, I have my first most popular training in my inner circle is I reveal some really easy, exciting tips on how to get started with just getting yourself out there as an expert and getting some notice for your products and services. People literally will have results within about a week or two and start appearing in press, like legitimate editorial press coverage. And so it really can be fast and easy, and it doesn't have to be daunting or intimidating. And that's, what my role is, like, to help people understand that and, walk them through the process. And then thirdly, I would say just do it. And I know that's Nike's slogan that I'm borrowing, but
just do it, Heather Burgett. Wait.
Exactly. Just do it. Just, don't make excuses. You got to get over yourself, and I'm the first to understand how challenging it can be to put yourself out there in the spotlight. I've been teaching that to my clients for 20 years and, media training and getting them in front of cameras and all of that. But for me to do the coaching, I had to take my own medicine and my own advice. And I didn't even want to have my picture on my website or do video. And now I am very comfortable now doing it because I got over the hurdle of whatever fears were coming up for me around doing that. So, you just got to do it and just get over yourself and know that you putting yourself out there, it's not about ego. It's about you reaching the people you are meant to serve so that you can be of service in your time while you're here in this lifetime.
So, Heather, can you tell us how to find out more about PR Stars and how people might be able to get involved in what you're doing?
Yes. The best way probably to get more information and find out about PR Stars is to go to my website, prstars.net. And on the homepage there, you'll see the offer for the Get #1 tool that all PR pros use for results. And if people sign up for that, they will get the offer for 2 weeks for free in my inner circle. So definitely go to prstars.net. You can see on the very top of the homepage there, the button where you can click to get that #1 free tool. And also all my social media platforms are listed on the website as well.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Well, Heather, we really appreciate you taking time to talk to us today and to provide some tips and have a quick conversation about the Ataxian, because that's one thing that Sean and I like. So, I mean, I'm not going to lie. We like to talk about the Ataxian, So appreciate you taking the time today.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I love what you're doing, and I am constantly inspired by everything you guys do. It's just so impressive. And yeah, anyone that hasn't seen the film really should take a look at it.
Thank you for listening to the Two Disabled Dudes podcast. Find us online at twodisableddudes.com and please subscribe on the iTunes. Connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Special thanks to our production team, Jake Tompkins and Matt LaFleur. Until next time, keep living with urgency.